Welcome to the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award pilot podcast episode. I'm Oksana, Communications Officer at the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation. And on this podcast, I will be meeting award holders from across the globe to chat about their award experiences, leadership, wellness, career paths, and all things the Duke of Edinburgh's International Awards. And today, I'm delighted to be here with Brianna Simmons, our international youth representative from Bermuda for the last 3 years. Emerald Akomere, our new incoming international youth representative. And I'd like to start the second part of this episode with some information we're really proud of as the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation. The new analysis about the global impact of the award shows that the social value generated by young people who completed the awards in the last year has exceeded £1 billion. And it's the first time we reached such a high figure in 1 year. I won't go into much technical details, but social value is the impact an organization has on society. And it is calculated, quantifying the impact of volunteering, the improvement of mental and physical health, and also social cohesion. And this leads me to my next question. What were your volunteering experiences under the award? And if you are continuing doing this volunteering now? And I will start with Brianna.
Okay, now I have to think a little bit because I did my award. I finished in 2018, so it's a little bit farther back. But for my volunteering, I did tutoring to some of the other of my peers or other students in my biology class, but also my Spanish class as well. I also did mentoring with our band that we have, our marching band, because I played the flute in middle school and high school. So I was mentoring them with that. I also volunteered with the award. So because all of those are three different, very, very different volunteering experiences, I think it gave me a very broad approach to volunteering and not just limiting myself to volunteering in, say, a shelter or with one specific organization. I kind of gave myself a wider network of people that I could communicate with or that I could reach out to. And I think it really helped me kind of figure out what volunteering really meant to me, just because in the sense of we have to do it in school, but I don't think people connect with it other than it's a school requirement. It's volunteering is very much not seen in the light of using it to help people or using it to help serve yourself or your purpose in life and things that you want to do with your life. Volunteering is very much seen, okay, I have to do it, so I'm going to pick something and then go with it. But doing volunteering through my 3 levels of the award really helped me to kind of grow in giving back to my community and wanting to engage with my community, because a lot of young people, they don't really want to engage with their community, especially the older community. They rather stay inside or hang out with their friends. But volunteering definitely kind of opened my eyes to more possibilities than I could possibly ever think of.
It's beautiful. And I think it's not just the young people in general. I feel like people are kind of disconnected now.
Yeah.
And obviously community volunteering changes that. And I wish to see more people getting involved. And Emerald, what about you?
Yeah, so my volunteering was basically I actually related to what she said about the disconnect with volunteering. We volunteered in school. They made us volunteer for club activities, and it was just like, oh, do it, we're done, let's get out of here. I don't want to be here. But for the award, it helped me to see my community. So I do not just see people, I am able to relate to them. No one is an island. We need people to survive. We need people for progress. And we can only see people as people when we get to know them by offering services that many people might not readily offer. So I saw volunteering as a lifeline that helped me through the award. Because every single time I felt, oh my gosh, this is a lot of things I have to do, I remember the faces of the people that I have volunteered with and the community that have benefited from the volunteering. So that gave me something to boost me, like a booster for me to continue going on with my volunteering journey through the award. For the first time in my life, I was able to connect with older people. So in the typical African culture, you are very respectful of the older ones. So they say, "Hey, Emerald, you need to do this, do that." "Yes, ma. Yes, sir." You don't sit down and laugh. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on with you?" and everything. But well, I was able to see that side of people and just realize that the only thing that have changed is the color of the skin or the gray hairs. They're still very vibrant and young, and that has made me to think about other ways that I could help support people in the community. So this is just to show that in volunteering is very much about humanity. So that core principle of being humans and helping each other to achieve our common goal and being respectful to those who were there before us has been amazing for me to see and just reintroduce. So now I kind of force my younger ones to be like, "Go volunteer, you have to volunteer." But yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I have to say it's probably my favorite part when I'm hearing like award stories, the volunteering, because it's always so inspiring and you hear so many absolutely different examples. Like one of the participants from South Africa, they started a charity which provides shoes for people. I would never maybe think about this idea, but then if you are in that community and you see that that's a very, it seems like a simple need, but it can change so much. And there are like enormous amounts of amazing, inspiring stories. But another thing that is mentioned in the social value, but also we talk about it here, I think, in this community as well, is mental and physical health and just a general well-being. And we all know, but I think it's always important to highlight that physical activity is really important for that. So you mentioned a little bit about your physical recreation, but I just want you to share if you still exercise regularly and what was your activities, Brianna?
I would say fortunate in the positions that I was already in. I grew up doing a lot of sports. So physical came easy to me. I did track and field for my physical. So sprinting. I don't do the long distance running. I cannot do the long distance running. So for me, it was very easy to be able to use my training that I was already doing in the award. And it was challenging for me as well in a sense of figuring out what specific goals I wanted to work towards while I was going through that training. And I felt the change in myself as I was going through even my practices or competitions, those goals that I had set to help me grow in the award was also helping me in my races, or if I wanted to get a specific personal best time in a specific race, it was helping me to reach those goals. And I think inherently it didn't quite click at first, but it wasn't until I would say a year or two into it, I was like, oh, that actually helped. But now I'm active in a different way. Like I was telling Emerald earlier, because I work with dolphins, it's a lot of swimming, a lot of swimming involved. So I've been able to still remain active, but just in a different way from where I was doing before.
What about you, Emerald?
So for me, I would have never thought that I would ever be in a football team. No, no. But I tried volleyball. Wasn't for me. The smacking, the spanking, no. But for football, it was really interesting because to me it seemed like their word. There's a lot of mental calculations that you have to do in football. You have to defend, but at the same time, you have to remember that your home or your foundation needs to be safe while you're going out to help others. Football is a very community sport. All the 11 players in each team have to work together to ensure their team wins. And it was really interesting to see me do all of that. And that made me to realize that when I played football during sessions, it helped my mental health. The mental health is not something that is very talked about in the typical African setting, because you're like, you have food, you have water, you'll be fine. You figure it out. But it really helped me. I would go and do sports and be really calm to meditate and to think about everything. And it helped me process clarity. A lot of people meet me and they're like, "Oh, you know how to use words well." Well, I say it's because of the physical activity. And I'm still engaged in it now. Although I do not really have the time to be on the football field every day. I do from time to time, but I'm always at the gym. So I go to the gym, carry some weight, do some treadmills, just to ensure that my mind and body is active. So if I feel like my creative juices are running out, or there's a bug in the code and I'm like, I can figure it out, just go, hop on something, and I'm back and I'm revitalized. So it's really nice.
And I think that's also the beauty of the award, that you can choose what exactly you are doing.
Yeah.
So you can find something you are enjoying. And I believe once you find an activity you really enjoy, that's the best thing you can do for your well-being in general, whether it's gym, whether it's some team sports or swimming. And I think that's essential thing for well-being. We talked a little bit about skills, and it's such a wide variety. Every time I speak with a new person who does their work, it's something absolutely new, starting from gardening or cooking, and then it's graphic design or like, again, tech skills. So like, share a little bit about that. You already mentioned, but still, what skills did you do? And are they now part of your career path or maybe educational journey? Emerald, please.
So I started with designing, so making of clothes, sewing, making pieces, but definitely for the award, it encouraged us to explore other things. You must not have the same skill set for each section, or even in your 3 months of doing a particular phase of the award. So I started to branch out into coding, and then I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the creativity, the critical thinking, the design. I fell in love with the fact that it helped me with instant gratification because as young people, we need to see that instant gratification. And when I run a line of code and it works, and I'm like, yes, I'm the baddest. Woohoo, I can do it. So it really helped with that. And it's still, the award is a cycle. It's still linked back to my community service. Me knowing that, okay, now I can use computers to help improve the life of so many people. I was very excited to take it back to the community and then volunteer. So all these roles, they're together with each other. They keep on coming up responsibility. So it was really interesting to see how. So for the award, it is never a linear way. You can branch out, start with this, come with that, and no one troubles you for it being zigzag. Because every single thing you do, you discover a part of yourself that you never knew. And that part of yourself stays with you and then helps you to transform into another part of yourself that carries you through a different journey. So the award is a journey, and according to Rose, if you're not having fun doing it, you're probably not doing it well. So really great journey to go on to.
And Brianna, what was your skills, and did you have fun and enjoy doing that?
Oh, of course. My skills mainly looked at music. So I grew up in I would say a pretty musical family, but it's not necessarily showcase. It's more, my cousins know how to play this instrument, or this person knows how to play this instrument. But because I was always doing sports, music was never one of those things that I had in my mind of something that I could do. It wasn't until I was in school and I had to do it as one of my courses. And I feel like it was one of those things where other people realize that you're good at something, but you don't realize it yourself. So going through school, I had my teachers that were encouraging me. They're like, you're really good at this. You should continue doing it. You could mentor the younger students in the school as well. So for, I would say, about 7 years of my life, I played the flute in my school's band. And again, it was one of those things I never really thought of as a skill. I would say it because it came almost naturally to me. But I have people that tell me all the time, I can look at a sheet of music and maybe with like 20, 30 minutes, I'm able to almost play the entire song. So that was one of the things that really stood out to me, or I think it's just people helping me and encouraging me to pursue music, or to pursue music within the community, or giving back to the younger students within some of our schools back home, or specifically the school that I went to. Music, I believe, is no longer provided. So I've been trying to help, or I was trying to help my teachers or my school that I went to kind of rebuild that music program, because it was such an important part of my life, and it helps me grow as a person, just being on that stage in front of all of those people, and you're trying to memorize the music, but you don't want to mess up the note because then you don't want people to hear that you messed up, was really a period of growth, I want to say, for me. So I think with music, I've been able to connect with all different kinds of people. I've continued it more in the sense of a hobby. I'm currently trying to teach myself how to play guitar. I've only been at it for about a year, but we're slowly progressing.
I think it's also important to think that, yes, it's great to learn skills that you can apply to something and have it like very practical. but it's also amazing to have hobbies.
Mhm.
It's also good to just
Yeah.
have some space where you can just enjoy what you're doing. It doesn't have to always be like part of your future job.
Yeah.
And we get into the section everyone knows the most about, Adventurous Journey. And you mentioned that before. So in UK, it's like same as you said, Brianna. As soon as you mentioned the award, people are like, oh, the hiking one.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's a wider experience. And I think it's actually brilliant because we are not connected to nature enough in many places in the world. So share a little bit about your adventurous journey. And I wonder if you were into outdoors activities before you tried, and do you enjoy it now, Emerald?
No. I was not into outdoor activities. So um the normal thing for you as a Nigerian is if you go to a place, for example, we're in a story building now on the 18th floor. When I peep through the window, I'm like, if someone falls from this place. So the first thing we're thinking about is danger, all the bad things that could possibly happen, not enjoying the view. What view? But when I heard we're going to hike, I was like, in Yoruba, it's the kilelei. So what is this now? Like, Habama now? Why are we going to do this? But we went. I was really excited, but then we're put into groups of people I did not know, and I was like, I'm not saying a word. They got to the top, and then I realized why they put us into groups for us to help each other. And the particular point when we're hiking, I was like, I am going down. I am not going to climb to the top of this hill. I am done because gravity was pushing me back down, and I did not have because I refused to connect with people in my group. I did not have the support that I needed. And I sat down, and one girl came up to me. She's in my group, but I didn't speak to her. And she was just like, I know you can do it. Give me your hand. And that moment, I followed her prompt, and we supported each other to the top. And then I was so gingered that I was looking for someone who was down like me too. And I was like, yeah, girl, come on. Hey, guy, come on. We can do it together. So it was nothing in the books, but it helped me realize how much we need each other as humans. Something that you mentioned, technology is coming in and it's taking away us appreciating nature, us even appreciating each other, because you feel, oh, if someone is not going to do that for me, I'm going to ask AI every morning to remind me of how awesome I am, and you feel like your problem has been solved. But we need each other. We need that community, that humanity of living, and it is clearly depicted in the adventurous journey, because there you can't do it alone. You have to do it with other people, and they have to become your support system. And one thing I realized with the adventurous journey is that you become vulnerable. For you to be able to receive help, you need to be vulnerable. You need to be honest with yourself that you actually need that help. So it helps to bring up that charade that as a young person, you need to have everything put together. No, it's okay for you to, to be very scattered, to not have idea of what you want to do. The most important thing is, how grounded is your support system? How real are they? Are they just telling you have a perfect life? Are they also coming in with their vulnerabilities, and you guys are helping each other? And that was the whole point. One of that very important points that I was able to see was the unity of people. I talked about it before. It's very different. Like, no one cared if you came from a part of Nigeria, or you're from the north, or you're from the east, or you're from the west, or we do not go to the same school. I'm from public school, you're from private school. No one cared about that. When we got to the top of the mountain, I did not even look for my friends first. I had to celebrate with those who took me there. So in that moment, looking downwards, seeing how small everything that divides us is, it's like, what are we doing dividing ourselves? Because every single thing that divides us is down there, and we are up here and we're celebrating. So it's just to reiterate the fact that humanity and community is the best gifts that has been given to us as humans. And with the community just showing more of it, and the award rather just showing more of that community vibes and helping each other, there's nothing more that we can appreciate than that in itself. So yeah. Now I try to hike. Like, I was part of like a hiking group that hikes every weekend. You can imagine how crazy that was. And I'm a super hiker. When I see someone, I'm like, oh, I was there before. Come, let me help you. So yeah, it's been great.
Amazing. And I think that's the whole point. Of course, it's important to like overcome the challenge of the hike, but it's still all about teamwork and how you can support each other and uplift each other. And Brianna, what was your experience?
I agree with Emerald. I was not a hiker, an outdoors person. I think for me, the adventurous journey is just that in itself. It's an adventure. It's something you experience with either a group of friends if you go to the same school, or in my case, when I did mine, all the other Caribbean islands that we came together and they split us up into different groups, like Emerald was saying. So I knew no one in my group. And we had only met 2 or 3 days prior to our adventurous journey. So it was a lot of finding a way to trust each other, but also help each other through the process as well, which was really interesting. And coming from Bermuda, we don't have mountains. We have hills, very small hills, but we think they're mountains. So having that support, especially in my group, and as Emerald was talking, was a specific situation that had come to mind for myself. I had twisted my ankle previously to the trip. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. It's such a long journey that I have to get through. But my team was very, very supportive in that space, especially during times where I was like, I just want to sit down and cry on the side of this road. They were like, Brianna, we can help you. We can shift things in your bag to make them lighter, so you're not putting as much pressure on your ankle, and things like that. So I feel like with the adventurous journey part, even though you're working with people you've never met before, people you've only interacted with for maybe a couple of days or a couple of months prior to actually going out and being on the trail together, it gives you a different sense of a community, because you're building such a wide community within the award, but these specific group of 4 or 5 people in your group become almost like a family unit. So if you learn to trust each other, you learn to build those relationships with each other, and it kind of, like Emerald said, helps you to get to the top of that mountain even when you're struggling.
It's beautiful. And I think that's a good place to wrap up. But before we do that, the same question as I had for Martin. If a young person comes to you and asks, why should I join the award? What would be your answer, Brianna?
I would say join the award, not only to recognize things in yourself that you may not have seen, but to also recognize who you could be and who you can be in the future. Because as we were talking, or as Emerald and I have been engaging with all the IG delegates, or even all the forum participants as well, it's helped me, and I want to say others, to realize their potential that they have. And specifically with myself, before I joined the award, I was very shy, very quiet. And going through it has helped me to recognize in myself, oh, I can do that. I can engage with these people. I can get up and talk in front of people. So I say it's definitely a journey of self-discovery, and you get out of it what you give into it. So if you are coming in and you're really engaging and active, you get that out 10 times more than what you give. Emerald?
I would say to be world ready. Many young people want the best of life. I have never come across a young person who doesn't want the best of life. I'm not saying that everyone wants to be like a president or a minister, but whatever best is to us, the award can help you achieve much more than you can ever think. Because like Brianna Martin says, it really stretches you. You know, whatever you think is your limits, it's more than that. And it really helps you to believe in yourself. In a world where we have to doubt ourselves, we have to ask GPT and technology and people above us, should I do this? The award teaches you, you can do it. So it's not a matter of if, it is when and where. So you have all the hows, because you have values that can transform you, that can push you to doing things you need to do. So it's a matter of you being world ready to face any situation. And remember that you're not facing it alone. You have a global brotherhood and sisterhood of over 1 million plus people. I've never known anyone who has a family of 1 million plus people. So you have that family. And I wish, I mean, you guys are going to see it through the clips on social media, how we've really become a family at the IGE. It's literally not even up to a week. And all of us know each other, and we're talking and we're engaging and we're having fun. This is what community and what the world should be like. So you are being part of the future now, basically.
Thank you both for joining again. I'm sure now everyone who would watch or listen definitely would want to join. I would definitely want to join. I'm too old now, but I would if I could. Thank you for everyone who listens or watches us. You can find links to all the platforms where you can follow this podcast channel in the description. Follow for our upcoming episodes. We will be talking about award experiences, but also about well-being, career paths, leadership, and self-development in general. This was podcast by the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation. Stay tuned.